If God's purpose can be accomplished regardless of what I do, why do I need to obey? That is the question we should all be asking ourselves as we complete the first chapter of Jonah. So at the end of this chapter, the mariners who Jonah told he was fleeing from God, they are not yet convinced about God. So they try to row to safety in the midst of a raging storm, and they're not getting anywhere, at which point they recognize that God is real. They're in fear of him, fear of this raging storm and everything else that goes along with that fear. And they finally ask Jonah, what are we supposed to do to calm the storm? And Jonah tells them, throw me into the sea. At which point they pray to God and say, we don't want to do this. Don't put any blame on us. We're trying to preserve life, unlike Jonah, who was not trying to preserve life. So they throw him into the sea, and it says that the raging sea stilled immediately. At which point it says they had even greater fear, greater awe, reverential awe of God. And they made vows and sacrifices to God. We end this chapter with Jonah's silence continuing in the belly of a whale while these pagan mariners are calling out to God. I think it's really interesting. And this actually goes back to Luke chapter 19, where Jesus has the triumphal entry. And people tell him to make his disciples be quiet. And he says, even if they don't speak, the rocks will cry out. So yes, God's purpose will be accomplished regardless of how we, as his followers, obey him. It will be done. But we are called to be Christ-like. And Christ-like means obedience to the point of death, as we see in Philippians 2, even death on a cross. That does not mean doing our own thing. It does not mean giving up other lives because we are selfish and angry with God. It means following no matter what is asked of us. Something to contemplate today.